the reasoning for him teaching is the best thing I've ever heard. To him, it's like sort of immortality, you know.
Many teachers had to become healthcare workers to make sure that students took their temperatures regularly, and also they became safe distancing ambassadors.
So I can only imagine their state of mind and what teachers have had to go through these past 2 years, right? Hello, I'm Sharda Harrison and welcome to SG Now. I'm here in my favorite kopitiam, about to have a lovely discussion. Today we are going to talk about teachers, because Teachers Day is coming up, right? Very excited to, pay tribute to all our teachers out there. And there's a little known fact that I am actually a teacher as well. And it's one of the things I love doing the most. Okay. Today in the studio, we have none other than CityJo Dharmhik.
Yes, that is I.
Yes, that is I, he says. And also in the studio today, we have Professor Jason Tan. Lovely to have you with us in the studio.
Thank you for having me.
You have a really long career, right? You've even written a book about the challenges that teachers face. Can we just talk about your career?
Sure. I started off teaching far too long ago than I care to remember, in a junior college for a few years before I finished my postgraduate degrees. After which I started working at the National Institute of Education.
Wow.
And that's where I've been for the past quarter century or so now.
I love how you say. Well, salute to you, getting those, postgraduate degrees and really building an institution out, NIE. I'm sure your contributions are crucial and just wonderful that you've stayed in one place for so long. Talking about teachers, right? Dharmhik is going to share with us a little video on a teacher that's left such a heartwarming impression on him. Yep. And we're going to find out what they chatted about, right? So let's find out.
Hey guys, so today I'm going to meet someone really special, right? You know how Teachers Day is coming up? Well, today I'm going to meet one of my favorite teachers of all time.
My name is Jeff Hung.
My name is Jeff.
I'm a lecturer teaching game design, and I've been teaching since 2013, so it's nearly 9 years already. So my experience in teaching mostly in the way I convey the knowledge things to the students is like crafting a story. And it's interesting to see how students react to the way things have been delivered, conveyed. Number one challenge is to know the current student. So like I said, for every batch of students, it moves very fast and can be very different.
First, I want to share with you a story that I have about you teaching me, right? The first thing is that...
Should I be scared?
No, you shouldn't. This
Okay.
story is, you come off as relatable and you are not beyond saying that you don't know something and you're going to learn it now.
I give you a secret of a teacher. We actually learn more than the students.
The truth is that you're one of those teachers that made learning in poly really fun. Because there's always going to be, those teachers that teach physics and then they just sit there droning on and on about why must you use this formula, why must you do that. But then it comes to a teacher like you, it's like, you could do it my way, the easy way, or you can do that you show us the other way. It's like, you just like, it's a playful way of telling us why to follow your way.
My pleasure. Yeah, I guess it is. Of course, it's something that I put a conscious effort into, especially when teaching. Like you said, very technical, skill-based physics, math, programming, things like that. It's a conscious effort that I always put is to make sure there's a motivation. So, meaning, what this thing is used for.
What do you most remember when teaching me?
You. No, it's just very active, very noisy.
Active and noisy.
Active and noisy.
So after talking to Jeff, I hope you see how much of a fun teacher he is. the energy he carries translates into his lessons. He's always making sure you understand what he says, and with his delivery, it is easier to understand because you'll feel less tired. And that's why he's one of my favorite teachers of all time.
Thank you so much for that video, Dharmik. Now, back at you. Let's talk a little bit more about, your experience with your favorite teacher, Jeff.
Okay, the first things first. The reasoning for him teaching is the best thing I've ever heard. To him, it's like a sort of immortality, So it's like his experience. To him, what makes up a human is the experiences we live and what we know, right? And as we share with other people, basically to him, it's like a part of you continues to live on into the future.
Wow, yeah.
So I say that it's the first time I ever heard that. Usually it's like, oh, I just want to leave a good impression on the next generation or something like that. But to him, it's more like a bigger purpose, I guess.
Yes. And I truly do feel that it is, And of course, recently with the pandemic happening, it made its effects on us as teachers, right? But to be fair, I think a lot of teachers handled it very well. We adapted very well. We went on Zoom and we handled it. But Professor, do you think there were any sort of lingering adverse effects that have stayed with teachers since the pandemic?
Well, the pandemic began in 2020, and it's only been in the last few months that some degree of normality has begun to return to our schools. For example, with the resumption of co-curricular activities. And I think that one of the key effects of the pandemic was to really increase very dramatically teachers' workload. And this is something that the Education Minister has publicly acknowledged as well. And it was very tough because while they were teaching these online classes, they had at the same time to take care of a small group of students whose homes were, for various reasons, unable to support home-based learning. And that meant that, just in terms of the teaching and learning workload, there was this huge increase for many teachers. At the same time, many teachers had to become healthcare workers to make sure that students took their temperatures regularly, and also they became safe distancing ambassadors.
That's right.
To make sure that students were adhering to the safe management measures. And very crucial as well, I think, is having to reach out to students who were unable to participate fully in home-based learning. So, for example, some students and their parents did not know how to set up the mobile devices at home.
Professor, you really listed lots of things that teachers had to add onto their checklist. So I can only imagine their state of mind and what teachers have had to go through these past 2 years, right? Well, I want to hand it over to you, Dharmik. Do you have any thoughts on this, what teachers have gone through during the pandemic, especially even after talking to your teacher, Jeff?
The thing is that to him, he saw it as a way so that students will be more comfortable at home when they study, right? Because usually traveling all the way to school seems like a hassle to students. But to him, we realized that, but there's also the other side of the student where they're so comfortable that they can't focus. I know a friend of mine who, as soon as home-based learning started, his grades were like from a 3.0, they dropped down.
Oh dear.
It was awful, but
Yeah.
it's a side effect of that not being able to be just there and interact with the teacher normally.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everything feels stale when you're online.